In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Good evening and welcome, everybody. It is the Steel Toe Nighttime Show. Welcome. Hunting's done, right? It's too dark out. You can't go shooting shit right now. So gather around the hut or the yurt or whatever you do and listen to some Steel Toe Evening Show. I feel like shit. I feel like absolute shit tonight. I went and played basketball. I went to see if old Larry Jailbird. I felt like celebrating, the big W for the toe. The W was sweet this morning, but it was even sweeter the rest of the day when all of the boys involved with that abortion catastrophe of a show, some are calling it the worst show of all time. Watching them all retreat to their hug boxes to try and assure themselves they're not the biggest failure pieces of shit who ever existed. I did a drive-by on them today. I just did a quick 30-minute. I lit up the street and then I walked away and did the rest of the show because my audience expects a real show. They have a higher standard than those people. So I had to do a quick little street sweeper, quick little drive-by. You don't really need to do much when those guys bomb as badly as they did and expose themselves to the world and prove Aaron right. So I just had to do a quick drive-by, kneel on the football, run out the clock, game's over, win for the toe. They all retreated to the hug boxes, trying to convince their audiences, but it sounded more like trying to convince themselves they didn't look like complete retards. I think I hurt Carl the most. He had to go to his Jewish hug box. And tell me I'm okay, guys. Tell me I'm okay. It's okay. And it's like the whole audience was just telling him, bro, you have to admit that was a fucking turd that you laid in a win for the toe. And the guy can't take credit. He's incapable of taking criticism, which is fine if you don't take this so seriously. But this is his life. He doesn't have anything else. He's got an elderly wife, no friends. I mean, he doesn't have any hobbies. He's just a guy who looks to the internet to give him a different life so he can kind of play act. And that criticism, he just doesn't handle it very well. And so he had to retreat to the Yiddish hug box. The Jews had to band together and form a little hug box. And look, I'm glad I could make them do it. I'm glad I could make them do it without lifting a goddamn finger. It really was something special. The only thing that pisses me off is that they fucked with a decent guy who needs something other than what the system is giving him, and I hope people can put their hate of me aside and realize that was a real piece of shit thing to do. If you can't, that really sucks, but it does prove me right again about what I've said about you guys. Like, you guys who watch this shit, you don't have to be as disgusting and autistic and awful as the people you watch. Like, you do have a choice to be above that, to be better. And I would be impressed if you were. If you could, not to me, but if you could admit, like, okay, I was wrong to follow this shit. This is fucked up. This is creepy. These guys are weird. I'd have a lot of respect for you. Again, you don't have to like me. I'm probably not your cup of tea. As a matter of fact, if that's the kind of thing you like, I'd rather you didn't be a fan of mine because that's not what we do and not what we're going for. But if you can't see the holes in the shit you used to believe in, it makes me sad, but it makes me right again. So, again, it was, we'll move on. We'll do a show tonight, but watching those guys retreat to their hug boxes because the tow man bad, and Aaron went in for 30 minutes, and he lit up our street with some bullets, and then he ran. He took off, and he went and did his show. Watching them cry about that was satisfying. So, had that, worked on some clips, and yeah, Larry Jailbird made his return to the court today. My kids and SP and like the whole family, we thought, as we get into the cold months here and we need shit to do, why don't we just sign up instead of like getting guest passes for the day? And now that I've rekindled my love of basketball, why don't we get a Y family pass? And then we can just use it every day if we want to. Kids can go swimming. I can use the exercise pool. You got the giant state-of-the-art basketball gym, state-of-the-art workout equipment. They got some boxing stuff there. I mean, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So I went there today. Larry Jailbird made a comeback. And, I turn this off if you don't like Aaron talking about his basketball acumen. If you don't like the idea that you watch podcasts of dorks who care what people think and who stalk people, and you don't want to hear a guy talk about how he's still playing basketball at a pickup game level, just turn this off. You're not going to like it. I went in today, and the gym became a little more populated as time went on. I warmed up and did all of that stuff. And I don't know what it is about Larry Jailbird, but black people walk up to Larry Jailbird and talk to him about basketball because I think I was one of two white guys there. And I was wearing my Troy Bell Boston College jersey that I wore in high school, still fits. And I was wearing my Gophers basketball shorts. And one of the black guys comes up to me. He goes, "Oh, man, yo, you sneaky, you trouble." I'm like, well, no, not me. He goes, "No, man, you got like the matching shit on." That was Boston College and U of M, so the colors are similar, but it's not matching. But he's like, "You brought the matching shit, man. You're serious. You mean?" I'm like, "No, man." I told him, I go, "No, man, I'm old and I'm slow." He goes, nah, you got that sneaky shit like Luka Doncic. And I'm like, oh, God, they're not. And then I was like, when he said that, I was like, I can tell this story on the air and I can make 5% of the people watching really angry and mad. They didn't say that to Toe. He's a piece of shit. You already know your cover's been blown. Black people love me. You already know that I am a basketball savant and I am white. So Larry Jailbird, a Luka reference. I'm not a Luka guy. I don't like the Lakers, so I'd rather stick with Larry Jailbird. But look, I'd like to tell you that, that jail was a fluke and I can't ball anymore, but I balled a little today. Now, it is the St. Cloud YMCA. So if you need to give them a phone call to interview them and ask me if Aaron was out on the basketball court today or if he checked in, make sure you get the right YMCA. I don't want you to be upset. You guys are not going to live that down, by the way. I'm going to pull that card every single time because I don't think they realize how pathetic it is yet. They're still in denial, and we all do, and it's really funny. So if you want to call the St. Cloud YMCA, make sure you check on my new membership. Make sure you check on my check-in to make sure I'm not bullshitting you. But I did pretty well. However, I just did some old man shit to my knee. Like I tweaked it. Like I just came down on a rebound and it just kind of buckled. And I didn't tear anything. I didn't wreck anything. It's just when you're in your 30s and 40s, this shit happens. You get old. And stuff just buckles and hurts for like a half hour and then goes away. And that's exactly what happened. I'm limping around on a bad left knee for about 15, 20 minutes. And then it straightened up. It was fine. But shit just hurts. That's how it works as you get older. You land on shit funny. It's not like a torn ACL or like a terrible injury. It's just, oh, I landed, and at my age and my size, I land on shit and it just starts hurting. But I did pretty well. Did all right. Went and hit the weight room after that. Did not do so well there. That we're going to need to start going a little more religiously. Somebody let their muscles atrophy a bit. The cardio, still good. The musculature, not. But I got back on the court. There it is. Larry Jailbird. His first game on the outside, and he was solid again. You know, I should have told the guy when he made the Luka comparison, I should have told him, actually, sir, I will have you know I'm Larry Jailbird. Thank you. Your friends may have told you about me. But he was black, so he would have said, what do you mean, friends? And I would have said, well, when I was in the county jail, he's like, oh, because I'm black, I must know people in the county jail? And I would be like, no, that's not what I meant. He'd be like, you know Mikey? And I was like, so yes, it was fun to play basketball again today. I'm sorry that so many people had to just, I bet you those guys are in a group text together, and all since Friday, they've been texting each other in group text, coping like, this doesn't make us look that bad. Aaron's still like a really bad guy and blah, blah. And it was still going on today. They heard me roast him, and they went, oh, you know he's totally wrong about everything, right? Truly, let me get on your show so I can cope to you, and you'll just nod and tell me I'm right. It does bring me perverse joy, I will say. Welcome to the show. Let's get down to business, shall we? Phil Herslet says that they let Toe be a cheerleader at the Y. No, in the game. Hobo says, Aaron, I'm almost 50 and I would whoop your ass in basketball. Hobo, if you ever brought your stank ass to Minnesota, I'd drop you on the court. It wouldn't be funny. You're pretty much at triathlon level with me now. You want to box me? I'd fuck you up there. You want to get me on the basketball court? I'd make you look retarded there. You know what, Jew boy? Pick your third, what do you call it? Your third event in this triathlon, and I'll probably fuck you up there too. Tired of it, Hobo. Put your goddamn goofy-ass fat boy money where your dumb mouth is. Let's go, you hick. It's mean-spirited. I don't like doing that to Hobo. I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it would be like a decent little back and forth. I just feel bad. I'm not cut out for this. It's too mean-spirited. No Pen 15 Fathead starting us off with $5. Says your hair looks like crap and your shirt is gay. It's mean. Adam Simon gifting a membership to The Fraudster over on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. Josh Allen's terrible performance. You're right there, buddy. I see you. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, Aaron, this podcasters want the Vikings coach fired as he lied to the fans. Oh, let's check it out. Maybe we need to talk to him. Menthol Man says, you're very unlikable, Toe. I know. Look, for a guy like you, Menthol Man, I would say that if you're still in denial, I'm like the most unlikable guy there is. Because you've dedicated yourself. It's your religion. I have to be Toe Man bad. If Toe Man's not bad, then your whole world falls apart. I would say, find a new world, kiddo. Find it, because that's sad just to hear. Hit the like button. Red Fox Mad becoming a member for 42 months. Says, everyone subscribe to this channel. I agree. No Pen 15 Fathead becoming a member for 39 says, or for 39 months says 39 is basically 40. No. No. Oh, Incognito, I know your real name and where you live. It's really weird that you pretend to be women online. That's really fucked up and strange, but don't worry. How's your wife's job going, by the way? I mean, Pentagon. Damn. Adam Simon becoming a member for 23 months says, my, how time flies. And Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, Aaron, look at the cool water park that the St. Cloud YMCA wants to build. I saw that. They want me to donate to it. I'm not really familiar with the project, but yeah, they want to build an outdoor water park. Looks like I came around. just in time. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Gray Duckling.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
There we go. Thank you, buddy. Hulkamasha Baby with $1 says, well, yeah. You and the brothers are all working on marriage number 3. Nonsense. They don't get married. $2 from Pen 15 Fathead says, I think you need to challenge Z-Man to a match. Oh, the Z-Man and I, here's what we can do. Next time Z-Man comes up to Minnesota, Z-Man can either, we can go one-on-one at the Y, or Z-Man and I could run 2s, and we could own the court. We could see how long we could own the court for. How about, and we'll live stream the whole thing. Z-Man and I run in the court. He can run point because he's shorter. I'll play down low. We'll dominate. Hey, David Chandler got himself a membership. Old DC, where's that old coon dog been? Oh, my, look at him. Hey, DC, for old time's sake, how about you throw us a C note, pal? Squirrel Boy Q, Greg Tamaginini, Mr. Mature, and Vince Griswold all getting a membership as well. Thank you, guys. I have to do math. 15. 85 away from tonight. You guys are the best. Kicking ass and taking names. Gray Duckling says, what a cheap fuck. Well, yeah, I know. 100 is probably not enough. He probably owes more than that. But I just want to see him get off to a good start. That's all. So where does that put Gay Cuckling? Gay Cuckling is now at 42. That's good enough for second place on this Monday. Need Trump in third with $30. Miss Tay in fourth with 25. And a different David is in central booking at 25. And Sanford's son in first with a cool hundo. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into things. Hobo Chili says, first of all, why the fuck would I come to Minnesota? I want to nuke your state. Well, then we got to, look, you can't keep challenging these triathlons and then backing away when I name a location. You gotta work with me here. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. 75 away from tonight. Thank you, Gray Duckling and company, for your generosity. All right, so somebody, Vocal Vike, made a video that said, Kevin O'Connell lied to Vikings fans, exposed. Oh, boy. What did our boy KOC do? You know, the Vikings lost to the Ravens on Sunday. I was at the game, loved it. It was a great time. But it was frustrating. I mean, the Vikings got to 3rd and 1 on the 50. We had the lead. All we had to do was run the ball, get a fresh set of downs, let Aaron Jones do his thing. And instead, KOC decided to call a deep ball down the field to Justin Jefferson on 3rd and 1, and it made no sense at all. It was a terrible play call. And then JJ wanted to chuck one up to Jefferson deep. He had a guy one-on-one. And look, if Justin Jefferson is going down the field and it's man coverage one-on-one, throw it up for him every time. Absolutely, I endorse it. But his feet got tangled up with the corner. Justin Jefferson fell down, and it turned into an interception. It really, really sucked. It was an unfortunate game. I thought it was poorly coached. Also, every time J.J. McCarthy would get us a first down, the very next play on 1st and 10, fucking offense would false start. And we'd be at 1st and 15, which just kills your drive. So let's see. This guy wants Kevin O'Connell fired because he says he lied to Vikings fans. Now, I don't feel lied to, but let's hear him out. I'm sure he's going to be measured and reasonable and not
Vikings
crazy.
Nation, we have now come to this.
I played basketball with this guy in jail.
Where we have to expose our head coach, Kevin O'Connell. Expose
Hopefully
him
not
for
as-
what, you may be asking. He lied to us, and we going to talk about it today, right now, after that embarrassing loss to the Baltimore Ravens yesterday.
We gon' talk about it. Well, let's go. Let's get going, homie.
That was an embarrassment. And there's really only one reason why it was an embarrassment. All of this could have been avoided.
Betting was rigged.
All of this could have been avoided if you just were a man of your word. Kevin O'Connell. I want y'all to drop down in the comments how you feel. Are you ready
wait a minute. No,
fire
wait.
Kevin O'Connell?
No!
Should we move on? What do you think the best option is moving forward? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you know how I feel. But first,
The guy went 14-3 last year with Sam freaking Darnold, and 2 years before that, he went 13-4 with Kirk Cousins. No, we are not firing Kevin O'Connell. Who is this dope?
does anybody remember when Kevin O'Connell was at the annual NFL owners meeting?
Oh, yeah, who doesn't remember? We all remember that.
And he did a couple interviews. And in one of those interviews in particular, he was talking about how we are going to run the football in 2025. Anybody remember that?
Okay, you know what? I want to shit on this guy, but he's right. And I was saying that too. You got to run the football more. Aaron Jones is magic with the ball in his hands still at 31. Jordan Mason is a great workhorse to pound the defense late in the game. He is, I'll give him that. We got to be running the ball more. You have what is essentially a rookie quarterback. He's having his 5th start this Sunday. You need to make it easy on him. I'm talking about screen passes, 3-step drops, short routes, curl routes, dig routes, crossing routes, out routes. You know, nothing crazy. None of these 5 or 7-step drops. Run the ball on first. Run the ball on second. Get it to 3rd and 4. Complete a little something to TJ Hawkinson. Keep the chains moving. Let the kid build some confidence. He wants JJ to go out there and be a gunslinger day one. The game is way too fast for him right now.
Well, don't worry about it. I'm here to remind you. This is Kevin O'Connell, verbatim. I'm going to read it, okay? I think the things we've done in free agency from a standpoint of the interior offense and defensive lines, coupled with Aaron Jones being back and then acquiring a player like Jordan Mason, I think a physicality that I want to play with.
All right, thank you for sending that in. You are correct. Kevin O'Connell did say that. We should be running the ball more. Kevin O'Connell loves his passing game, but he's asking a rookie quarterback to do way too much. Way too much. I think JJ is going to be great. I still think he's going to be a good quarterback, but he's not going to be good right now. I mean, Christ, Sam Darnold didn't get good till last year. Daniel Jones didn't get good till this year. Baker Mayfield wasn't good until 2 years ago. Trevor Lawrence hasn't been good until this year. CJ Stroud is still struggling. It takes time. All right? It takes time. NoPen 15 Fathead with $5 says, this guy is gay. I only get my sports takes from the common man. I get mine from a Buddhist-looking Korean. That's where I get my football takes. That and Judd Zolgad. Those are my guys. $70 away from tonight. Thank you, buddy. 72 away from 400 over on Rumble. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that. But no, that is not what I wanted to get into tonight. I didn't plan on talking football. Thank you to whoever sent that in. No, we should not be firing Kevin O'Connell. That would be a grave mistake. We do have some breaking news shortly before we went on tonight. The United States Senate passed the first vote to reopen the government, 60-40. They just got enough votes. They have quite a few more votes to go. They have quite a few things to approve. This has to be done in pieces. It can't be done all at once. But I think they got a handful more votes to go. Somewhere 3, 4, 5 votes left. And then we can get the government shutdown ended. Democrats aren't happy. They feel like a lot of their people caved to Donald Trump. I think if you want to watch the deficit, you're not happy because this does nothing to address it. So, you know, they say a good compromise is when nobody's happy. Well, we ought to be real happy with the way things are going right now. Also, we talked about that 50-year mortgage thing today that Trump wants to introduce, and I hated it. I looked into it more after the show. I hate it even more. It's just another excuse for the banks to reinflate housing bubbles. It's just another excuse for the banker class to continue getting away with the bullshit they've been getting away with. It's another way to allow the government to continue to spend and debase the currency and screw up the way they've been screwing up and then just kick the can down the road. Same thing with, and they've been talking about this for a while, the 100-year Treasury bill. the 100-year bond. They've been talking about it. It's been, I remember the first time I heard about the 100-year T-bill was 2008, 2009. A finance guy told me about it. He said, we laugh about it. He said, we're laughing about the 100-year Treasury bill. And then about 5 or 10 years ago, I talked to that same guy, and he said, yeah, we're not laughing about the 100-year Treasury bill anymore. I think they might be going for it. So the 100-year Treasury bill, the 50-year mortgage, it's just more of the same. It's more of the kick the can down the road. We don't want to stop living the way we're living. We're fucking addicted to spending. We're addicted to devaluing the dollar. So how do we get to keep that addiction going while not having to pay the price for it? 50-year mortgage, 100-year Treasury bill, kick the can down the road. Terrible ideas. But so far, Trump has given Israel everything they've wanted. Trump has given the war hawks everything they've wanted, and Trump has given the bankers everything they've wanted. They have successfully bought, lobbied, and corporatized MAGA. It is now a brand. It is not something anybody actually stands for. It is a bought and paid for corporate brand like Nestle, Nabisco, or Coca-Cola, and they got them. They got Donald Trump. No Pen 15 Fathead says a 50-year mortgage is insane. Even a 30-year mortgage is crazy. Yeah. It's really stupid. Papa Shab says, what type of people, Aaron? Who is doing this, I wonder? Jewish people, are you happy? I thought we all knew and I didn't have to shout it at you. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Hey, don't worry, guys. When you voted for Trump for the second term, I bet you were hoping for 100-year Treasury bills, 50-year mortgages, and no Epstein files and a new war with Iran, right? Come on, make America great again. Me too. Me too. I feel like this whole country's been Me Too'd by Jeffrey Epstein, ironically, at this point. Hey, but you know one thing Donald Trump did do? He got Ghislaine Maxwell a lot nicer cell with a much better view at a way cooler prison. So don't say the guy's never done anything for anyone. I mean, he's helped out some. He's helped out some people. I mean, not people that we wanted helped out, but I mean, look, I quite frankly, I think you're being ungrateful as Americans. A lot of vagina says, yay. No, it's not the response I wanted from that. Richard Head says, WPH, put those green lights away in the chat. Stop it. Stop putting those green lights in the chat. That is not what I meant. But yeah, you get ready for the 50-year mortgage. The government shutdown's going to be done. Trump also said that he's going to do the $2,000. He announced today that he is doing the $2,000 per person tariff rebate, that we're all getting a couple grand from the money we brought in via the tariffs. I mean, sure, but I'd like to see that. I mean, we're talking about paying down our debt. I'd like to see our deficit go down. If we're bringing in $300 billion a year on tariffs, how about we take that $300 billion, we put it towards the deficit, we get it down to $1.5 trillion a year with a T, and then maybe we cut $600-700 billion out of the military budget. All of a sudden now you're under $1 trillion for your deficit. Get rid of that Department of Education like you were supposed to. Get us down to around, $500-600 billion. And then tax some of these hedge fund cunts. Get some money from those worthless fuckers who basically are parasites on the economy who don't produce a cocksucking thing. Go ahead. Let's do that. What did, those Democrats don't have terrible ideas all the time. And by the way, you cannot get out of a $1.8 trillion a year hole or a $35 trillion a year hole without raising taxes on somebody. You can't do it. So how about, one idea the Democrats had that I didn't think was awful was a speculation tax. Basically, all of these cocksucker, disgusting oligarch traders who don't actually produce anything but just speculate on what the market might do, tax every single one of their fucking trades, and we'll raise a little money that way. That way we can cut a shitload of government spending, cut a shitload of welfare programs, cut a shitload of military, one of the biggest welfare programs there is, And then you can get rid of that Department of Education and all that other shit. Use those tariffs, pay down some of the deficit, raise the rest on, taking these fucking leech cocksuckers that run the economy, take a little from them. And then we'll get that son of a bitch down to zero. We'll get there. We'll get there. 09 Canyon says, if we're going down in flames anyway, I want to have fun at the party. Give me the money. You know what? Because our last stimulus packages, they worked so well. Baba Shab says, you aren't getting a balanced budget or the debt reduced, retard. So you're saying just take the $2,000 and just watch it all go to shit. All right. I mean, it would save my voice. I wouldn't be shouting so much. That would be good. Hey, I'm going to bring this next story up on the screen, and you guys are totally going to handle this maturely. I'm going to bring this up on the screen. I'm going to read the headline, and then I'm going to go back to the chat, and I'm going to watch you guys be totally cool about it. You ready? Wendy's quietly confirms 300 store closures next year. 300. So the problem we're having here is that nobody goes to Wendy's anymore. Wendy's is kind of a dying brand. So when you have Wendy's struggling the way it is, I mean, people eat less fast food now than they have in the past. And then you've got so many other options with different sandwich places opening and people kind of diversifying their tastes. What Wendy's doesn't appeal to people the way it used to. So it looks like, as far as where the closures are going to be made, in the first 9 months of this year, Wendy said its U.S. same-store sales or sales at locations open at least a year fell 4% compared to the same period last year. Wendy's revenue fell 2% to $1.63 billion in the same period, while its net income fell 6% to $136 million. Wendy's will make improvements to struggling stores, including adding technology or equipment. In other cases, it will transfer ownership to a different operator or close it altogether. That's it. So Wendy's, the nose of the plane is going down, and when something that big, when the nose starts going down, very rarely does it ever come back up. I mean, name me a food brand that kind of rescued itself. Maybe Burger King. There was a time where Burger King was kind of circling the drain and they brought themselves back up. But I don't think you're going to be able to do the same thing with Wendy's. All right, so here we go. I brought you that story. We talked about it for a little bit. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see what the audience has to say. I'm sure it's going to be kind. But holy shit. Actually, it is. I thought this was going to be nothing but fat shaming and bullying towards me. So far, what I'm seeing in the chat is analytical. Oh, my God. Is my audience going to be nice to me? Das Optic Nerve says, wow, now we will never know where the beef is. Hey, good 40-year joke. Kurt Wagner is a good lad, says, no, the burgers got smaller. It used to be the best. Halata Fachina says, well, the one on the east side is run by Mexicans and blacks, and their service sucks. Didn't think those two things needed to be connected, but okay. Customer service is hideous, and on a wall says. Rabbi Smoothie says 300 out of how many? Yeah, how many locations? How many locations does, I guess like 3,000 something in the U.S.? They have 5,881 in the U.S. Oh, that's barely a dent. What are we freaking out about, for God's sake? Wendy's was God tier at one point. Yankee says KFC's and Popeyes are still somehow thriving, though. I like Popeyes. I ate Popeyes yesterday. Don't tell anybody, especially not Hobo. 09 Canyon says Wendy's used to be the best. They changed their fries a long time ago, and they suck. Dude, they thought that was hot shit when they went to the sea salt fries. They thought that was going to be like their big saving grace. MSO says Aaron stops going to Wendy's, and now they're going bankrupt. Unreal. Why? Let's see, we didn't need to do that. We were having such a great time talking about Wendy's together. On a Wall says Five Guys is the best, to which Richard Head says Aaron loves Five Guys. I get it. Not the restaurant chain either. Oh, see, I didn't know what you meant. Nader P says Wendy's needs to bring back the super bar. Oh, the salad bar at the Wendy's. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, what's a fast food place without a fucking salad bar? I don't know. Loaded Wrench says, how dare you, Aaron? Mikey is black. I didn't say anything about black people. He said, the other guy said it about black people. Oh, yeah, here's a great point. SP texted me. She says Domino's kind of saved themselves. Yeah, they did. Domino's made a big comeback. It was actually really ballsy what Domino's did. All these newer pizza places were opening. And Domino's just started running commercials that said, show us how dog shit your Domino's pizza is. Take pictures of your shitty Domino's and we'll give you a new one. And it did up quality control. And I have to say, back in the day, I wouldn't touch Domino's pizza. I'd be like, oh, that's the sad, disgusting, gross pizza. I'm gonna say some sacrilege right now. Domino's is better than Pizza Hut. I'll take Domino's seasoned crust over Pizza Hut any day. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Halada Vagina says, you had Popeyes yesterday? The hell you say? See, I like it better when you guys do that, when you act surprised that I tell you that. MSO says, I don't know if they still have it, but I used to love the Wendy's baked potatoes. Well, after that lady put that finger in the chili, it all went to hell. That's the problem. Das Optic Nerve disagrees. He says Domino's is straight ass. I like it. Taste Ferry Alto, great. Another great example. Little Caesars kind of saved themselves. Yeah, that I almost said $5 footlong. That $5 large pizza thing kind of pulled them out of the doldrums. There's something about a restaurant embracing what it is and not trying to be more than what it is that can kind of save it. Like Little Caesars was like, hey, are you poor and just want to shove greasy pizza in your fat mouth? Here you go. That's us. And then as people got poorer and poorer and they go, well, all I can afford is greasy, shitty pizza to shove into my mouth, I guess I'll go to Little Caesars. It kind of worked out. Kurt Wagner is a good lad, says, I'm a New Yorker, so all this talk about Domino's is exotic as fuck. Yeah, it's a little place we have here in the Midwest. Onawal says, Jets Pizza for the win. I love a Jets deep dish pizza. I haven't had one in a long time. Long time. McBuster says, Aaron thought Five Guys was a gay bar. No, it's what happens in my religion when you die for your God as a martyr. You go to Five Guys. That's what it is. Loaded Wrench says, I eat Domino's twice a month. Hey, good. Shout it from the rooftops, man. Be proud. Eat shitty, greasy pizza and be proud. So Wendy's is closing down 300 locations. They're shutting it down. They're finished. It's over. That's it. Nose of the plane going down, and it's never coming back up again. It's never coming back up. Thank you, guys. $70 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Let's get that 70 knocked out and call it a win. We have, this is I think my favorite thing that we're going to do all day today. It's the India, I think what we could call this is, what do they call it? Confirmation bias. This is kind of an I'mRight.com thing. Did you know India, and dude, I'm not making this up. This is going to be very on brand. India has a shit flinging festival. There is a festival in India where all they do is get together and huck shit at each other. Now, this sounds like if it didn't really exist and you made a joke about it existing, you'd get fired from your job for being racist. But this is an actual thing, and some white dude from America decided to go to India and chase down the shit flinging festival, find out what it was about, and report on it. And as he did, he started getting death threats. People wanted this guy killed for making a documentary on the Indian poop throwing fest. In October, there was a man who wanted to survive the battle of cow dung that takes place in one small Indian village to honor their local god. So this small village in India has a god who apparently loves it when you throw shit at each other. and they honor him once a year by having a good old poop fight. The video went viral, causing YouTuber Tyler Oliveira to be doxxed and threatened by thousands of Indians. Now, you can't threaten a guy for reporting on a poop throwing festival that actually happens in your country just because you don't like that people associate your country with a lot of, pooping out in the street and throwing shit all over the place. I mean, sure, you can get mad that it happens, but you have to get mad at the people in your country. You can't get mad at the guy with the camera who's filming the people flinging the poo at each other. All he's doing is filming the people flinging the poo. It's the poo flingers that you have an issue with. So don't kill the white guy filming the poop. Go have a talk with the people who think it's totally rad in 2025 to honor their God by flinging diarrhea at one another. Those are the people you need to have a talk with. On November 6th, people thought that the deluge of harassment would keep us from seeing the poo throwing in all of its glory. As Oliveira said, he had been cowed into silence. This is legit. This is from Tyler Oliveira. He says, after much consideration, I have decided I will not be releasing my documentary capturing India's poop throwing festival. I have been doxxed, threatened by thousands of Indians over the last 2 weeks. Tens of thousands of Indians have turned my life into a living hell. Oh, so he's against H-1B visas too. My family has been attacked in ways that I could never imagine. Showing up to this poop festival was the worst decision of my life. Well, I mean, that tracks. And I severely underestimated the power of India. Right, I get that. It's not like you can go to a country, see thousands of people flinging poo at each other and think, well, these people have it together. They might be able to do something to me. I am only one man. I cannot defeat the combined power of 1.5 billion Indians who yearn for my destruction. Most amazingly, Oliveira and his post got Indian-American commentator Dinesh D'Souza to show a weirdly racist side, as he said the future belongs to poop-throwing Indians. What? So Dinesh D'Souza tweeted, how about commenting on this festival? Oh, he was talking to Tyler Oliveira. It seems like the future belongs to the poop throwers. And it said, here's a bar chart showing the median household income by major racial and ethnic groups in the United States in 2024. And Asians were on top. Now, first of all, easy, because that includes Japanese people, Koreans, that's Asian casts a wide net, my brother. Asian casts a wide net, so take it easy. And number two, Dinesh, let's be honest there, sweet cheeks. It ain't the poop throwing Indians that are stealing the future here in the United States of America. Don't act like don't act like Indian doctors are treating people for diseases and then throwing fecal matter all over the break room. If they are, I would like to be notified about it immediately and never, ever be sent to that doctor. So, this Tyler Oliveira responded to Dinesh D'Souza by saying, mask off, Dinesh, you got pump faked. Whatever happened to no more identity politics? Got him, kid. So that inspired this Tyler Oliveira to nut up and put out the India poop throwing festival. Now, the fact that Indians are threatening to kill this guy over this means they know it's a bad look that their country still throws poop at each other. They know it's a bad look that you don't get called a first world country and meanwhile you're chucking turds at one another. So they don't want this getting out, not because this Tyler Oliveira is a racist or he's a bad guy. He's an American who's curious about the traditions of other countries, which is we're criticized for not being more curious. Well, here's a curious little kitten, and you're trying to kill him. Why? Because you know it looks bad for the PR that you have a lot of people in your country who still throw shit at each other. I mean, here in America, what do we have? We have guys who have like the testicle festival where they eat Rocky Mountain oysters for a weekend. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's better than hucking shit at one another. So let's go ahead and check out some of this Tyler Oliveira poop throwing documentary. Now, remember, this is a bunch of Indians doing this to celebrate their God, which totally normal. And if you look closely, I believe that's a man holding a giant clod of poop.
So much shit. That's me at a poop-throwing festival in India, where the villagers spend 6 months collecting cow poop and celebrate the end of Diwali by throwing it at each other and rubbing it on their skin. I'm sinking! I'm sinking! I'm gonna die today!
Oh my God! So they're just taking cow shit and slamming it on each other's head like a WWE chair shot. This is real. Can we now cut off the H-1B visa program, please? I'm begging you. If not this, then what?
I'm the one who shits!
Dude, how many showers is it going to take for you to wash that off? Not like psychologically, I just mean physically, for you to get the smell of shit off your body. Over or under 4 showers?
And this is the story of how, after immersing myself into this unusual tradition, I was doxxed, harassed, and threatened by tens of thousands of Indians who weren't happy with me filming this village's holiest tradition.
All I had to do was go to jail, and one street shitter decided to obsessively stalk my life. Sorry, it was too easy. I apologize. That was beneath me.
The Vireshwara Swami is born from this cow dung, so we are celebrating this.
It all started when I flew over
It
10,000
was so nice of Moody to help that guy.
miles to South India, linked up with my translator Vivek, and began our trek into the
Ramaswamy,
remote village
of
of Gumatapura. Did this village still celebrate this strange tradition, or is it merely a legend of the past?
That's the best part, is when people are like, that is a bigoted, racist stereotype, and it's disgusting that you would believe it. And then you go investigate it. You're like, well, these people in this village say it's true.
After a couple-hour drive and immediately upon arrival, we were met with unmatched hospitality.
Oh, come on.
Okay, we made it to Gumatarapa.
Oh, thank you very much. Ah, my friend, you're too nice to me. President.
He put his hand on his shoulder and kept his body distance, like that guy smells really bad.
Okay.
Every home have some cattle.
Can we see?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they have collected the dung of it.
And this local was kind enough to bring me inside his home and show me something very important.
Wait, so all of these people have a cow in their backyard, and that cow takes big steaming shits, and instead of them disposing of it or making it into fertilizer, they collect it so they can throw it at each other like snowballs in the winter. Yeah, I'm glad we're taking immigrants from this place. I think it's wonderful. I'm a big fan of diversity.
He'd been stockpiling. Oh, right here. Okay, it doesn't smell that bad at all. And how long did it take to collect all this poop?
More than 5 months, 6 months.
5 or 6 months. All of this. 6 months worth of poop. So halfway into.
So this is kind of like, to give you an idea if you're American, remember when you and your friends would spend the winter gathering up like super soakers and water balloon hand grenades so that in the summertime when you finally had a water fight, you had like the biggest arsenal? It's just like that, except with cow shit.
The year you need to begin the collection.
This is for small.
This is small. So a little bit right here.
I mean, yeah, we just pick it up with our bare hands here in India. I mean, what good are stereotypes if you can't prove them true?
I see. Fresh right there.
But it's
Can I smell?
you smell it but bad. But our
That's pretty intense.
You smell it, but bad. It smells bad. You know, some people say it even smells like shit.
scientific taste for it's not for you just eating for little bit daily.
Eat it. Eat a little bit.
Oh my God. Now I see why India didn't want him releasing this and were willing to kill him to do it. This is like you did a documentary about Jews literally poisoning wells. and you were just like, we'll fucking kill you for these blood libels. And then there was a Jew in there going, and this is the well. This is the one that the goy used, so we poison it. so their children don't grow.
It be eating. Scientific test for it's for not coming for cancer.
Okay, so scientifically proven that if you eat a little bit, it cures cancer.
Little bit daily.
We're going to go ahead and check on that real quick. Does eating cow poop prevent cancer? Does eating cow dung prevent cancer? Because some Indian welder told him he was a scientist, and then now they're saying it's true. There is no scientific evidence that eating cow dung prevents or cures cancer. I'm starting to think that these Indians might be getting really bad information and have a remarkably backwards culture.
How much do you eat daily? Can you show me? Just a small. You don't have to do it. I just want to see how much. Just a small amount.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah, you don't want to be gross. Don't do it. Dude, don't do it. Dude, if I hit play and you shove that shit in your mouth, I have to hate your country until the day I die. You ate the shit.
How does it taste?
He's a shit eater now. You are a shit eater forever. Build 1,000 bridges, eat one hunk of shit.
That taste, but we are playing our bodies, any other stitching or anything, it's not come.
Okay. So scientifically,
you can take and check it in your lab.
Yeah.
That's it came because of our daily we can take in the it smell is come.
Yeah.
Any other.
It's one thing to pick up the pile of shit with your bare hands. It's another thing to hold it like a Nolan Ryan autographed baseball while you're talking to a guy. Put the shit down.
Kitching or anything is not come.
Okay. Okay, so this helps the immune system.
Oh, there he put it down.
And do the kids eat it as well?
Do you think that guy washed his hands, by the way? Do you think that guy went ahead and just ran even some water over his hands, or do you think he's just going to walk around now with that shitty hand all day because now he's not going to get cancer?
This is the whole no, just the men.
And you guys, they probably don't get cancer in that village because the hepatitis and Yaba virus takes them first.
We have daily high.
They all die of pink eye.
Okay, you don't do that.
But scientifically, it's come.
Okay, scientifically, it's good for you.
Any cancer or anything,
Okay,
it's come.
decreases risk of cancer.
Very less.
Okay, much less. Understood. This is a very.
I am not saying we eat shit here, just that I ate shit in front of you. But that, it would be weird and gay to keep eating it, even though it can help you keep cancer away. It would still, he should be winking while he says this. He should be going, "We totally do not eat shit here. This is not the place where we eat the poop. Is your camera on? No poop eating here. I was just doing that as a bit."
Rare and exclusive event, only celebrated here in.
Only celebrated in this village in whole of India.
And can you explain where we're at? Because India is a very large nation, 1.45 billion people.
We are in the southwestern part of India, in the state of Karnataka, a small village called Gometapura.
Which is Indian for the place where people eat shit.
Extremely welcoming people.
Extremely welcoming.
We came here, no announcement. They welcome us like we're family.
They offered you their finest cow shit to dine on. I mean, yeah, they treated you like a king.
So I gotta say, thank you very much, Gumetapura. These cows tomorrow will be an essential part of the celebration. Holy, godlike figures, right?
That's right. The cows will be the ones not flinging shit at each other. For at least one day, they will be the most evolved beings in the village.
Yes, that is why they are in a hurry today.
That's good. You normally want to see a cow's rib cage. They're an animal that's designed to be that way.
Why are they in a hurry?
They are in rush. They are going to.
They have lots of work to do.
Yeah, they have lots of work to do.
Happy Diwali.
We feed them laxatives so we can have lots of shitballs to throw at each other. That's why they've lost so much weight.
I'm here for Gorehaba. Yes, I came from Texas to see Gorehaba.
Oh, welcome.
Gorehaba, yes. Why did they start doing it?
They actually found in this place. There was a lot of cow dung here. And
right. And what do you do when you see a bunch of cow dung? What are you supposed to do? Not throw it at each other?
One day suddenly they found an idol of a lord here.
In the poop?
In the cow dung.
Oh.
So the Bireshwara is the name of the temple. And it is believed whosoever will play that festival, any problem, skin disease, they will be getting cured. Yeah.
Sure. So if you have a skin disease, the legend goes, you throw poop at all your neighbors, and then your skin disease will go away. None of this sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. at all. So that's what Tyler Oliveira is getting death threats for. And this is also why you won't be able to eat tonight, is this same thing. Yet, like, if a guy goes to your country and finds out that people are flinging poo at each other, work on your country, all right? Don't get mad at the guy filming the people flinging the poop. Maybe talk to the people who are throwing the poop, and especially the guy who's putting dung dips in his mouth because it's going to prevent tumors. Loaded Wrench with $2 says, this is the party I imagine is in my septic tank. Well, that's why they can't have Indian immigrants do septic tank work. They get in there and they just start chucking shit at each other. Loaded Wrench with $2 says his favorite player is Steph Curry. I'll ban myself. This might not be the worst idea. Might not be the worst idea. That is disgusting. 09 Canyon says Yaba virus. Yeah, look up what Yaba virus is and how you get it. That was a deep cut. How do you get Yaba virus? Oh, here. You can get the Yaba virus through accidental inoculation, like an injection or bite, or potentially from biting insects like mosquitoes. Direct contact with the virus on the skin can also lead to transmission. While no natural infection of Yaba virus has occurred in humans, accidental exposure in laboratory or zoo settings has been documented in similar localized tumors. So basically, like a lot of places I've heard, like monkeys will throw shit and spread Yaba virus. It's true. Here, monkey poo Yaba virus. Give me a second. As these are two distinct viruses that affect monkeys and can be a concern for humans. Mpox is the one you get from all the gay sex. Yaba virus is a pox virus that causes tumors on the skin of monkeys, but can cause similar tumors in humans through accidental infection. Yeah, so you can get that from, getting monkey shit on your skin. So if you find out one of your friends has Yaba virus, you know what they've been doing. Redman says they eat the poo-poo. That's true. They do eat the poo-poo. Tice Ferry Ialto says so many body cam channels are run by Indians. We don't threaten to kill them for showing our embarrassing underbelly. Well, I mean, ours is like cops tasing a guy and then that guy gets run over in the street. It's not you and all the people you ever knew growing up with chucking cow diarrhea at each other, McBuster says, align your chakras, throw some feces, study calculus, take over the United States. Taste Fairy Ialto calling it Yabba Dabba Doo-Doo. I like that one. Oh, man. That is fucking gross. Mr. B says, so they eat shit, then shit out that shit in the street for others to eat. Butter Dick Jones says, you'd know about gay sex diseases, Toe. I know a lot about a lot of diseases, I watched Scrubs growing up. That's how I know so much about those diseases. And poop disease. I know a lot about poop diseases. Everybody's got to have a specialty. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. $70 away from tonight. Go ahead and throw us a couple dollars. We only had a $100 goal tonight. I knew it was going to be a little rougher and tougher during Deer Week. I'm looking to get through. If we can get through this week with a perfect week, oh boy, am I going to be thrilled, because this is a rough week for the Toe usually. The deer hunting. It sucks having a real audience with real people who have lives, and hobbies, and they do shit. Damn it. It's difficult. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Thank you guys very, very much. I have a feeling that this guy might want to have a second conversation with God, because this is a pastor who, in Missouri, this is not like an Indian guy or anything like this. This is just some regular pastor guy in Missouri who took a second wife, and he says that it's biblical and it's totally fine. Now, I've noticed that there are some Christians who seem to stop before the Gospels because the Gospels kind of throw a lot of cold water on a lot of the, disgusting shit they want to do. And also, just because someone does something in the Old Testament doesn't mean the Bible's for it. Like sometimes in the Old Testament, they're telling you stories. They're telling you, they're giving you anecdotes. It's storytelling. It doesn't mean that everything in there is something you should be allowed to do. Plus, the New Testament, the New Covenant, the good news, the Gospels, they supersede a lot of that Old Testament. I mean, look, if you guys want to be Jewish, go ahead and be Jewish. But if you're going to read those Gospels, like a lot of people, they read the first part of the book and they go, all right, I see what I get to do. And you're like, hey, buddy, keep reading. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's going to be a guy that comes along and he's going to tell you that his dad feels like he didn't make a lot of shit clear, So this Missouri pastor took a second wife and then preached to his flock, I guess, that this was totally okay. Now, notice that he talked to first of all, he had to come to his congregation with it because I'm sure he knew it was going to come up. It was going to get talked about. Like people were going to want to talk to him about the second wife thing. And then he was going to bring it up. And wouldn't you know it, the minute he started doing it, it became totally fine by God. It's amazing how that happens. A lot of these preachers and a lot of these pastors, you don't really hear about how great and Christian and wonderful these things are until these guys start doing it. So let's take a look. This is Pastor Rich Tidwell in Missouri.
The Bible never demands monogamy. God never demands it. The Bible never prohibits polygyny. And to the shock of many, God compares David's lawful marriages, plural, with his unlawful union with Bathsheba in order to indicate that he had done the wrong thing. Moreover, in 2 Samuel 12:8,
you know how like atheists and agnostics like to say, yeah, Christians can cherry pick the Bible to justify all of their bullshit immoral behavior? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the guy who cherry picks the Bible for his bullshit immoral behavior. This is the dude.
7 and 8, God explicitly states, I gave your masters wives to you. Let's go and read. But unfortunately for the monogamy-only crowd, that's the only thing.
Whoa. You can't just call us a crowd and, dismiss it. You can't go, oh, for the monogamy-only crowd. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean, normal Christians. It's amazing that, these degenerate assholes want to also claim Christianity. It's like, dude, you got to pick a street. There's a lot of these Christians now that they're buy now, pay later, eat whatever you want, don't gain weight. It's like you get to be a Christian, but you don't have to do any Christian shit. Here, this is a simple Google search. Let me just search one thing here real quick, and then we'll get back to Pastor Pervert. I Googled, does the New Testament stress polygamy? And it said no. And I went, oh shit, what did I do? But I wrote polygamy. That's good. Instead, the New Testament stresses monogamy and presents polygamy negatively. Jesus referenced Genesis 2:24, which described a man and a woman becoming one flesh to defend monogamous marriage. The New Testament also explicitly requires church leaders to be the husband of one wife. That's a quote, my friends. So, look, if you want to be Rabbi Tidwell, go ahead and keep all your wives. You and Mark Levin can go talk to Netanyahu about who you're going to bomb next. But if you want to be a Christian, especially a Christian pastor, those gospels are kind of important.
Lawful in God's eyes, God gives David wives and then uses it as his arguing point for why what David did was so wrong.
Genesis 2:24, bro. Address that one. And then what did the J-Man say? What did the J-Man say about one wife?
In other words, you already had lawful wives. Why would you take someone else's wife? If you took just a moment, you would study this.
Every pervert and disgusting, psychologically deviant and intellectually devoid person who's an absolute basket of rat shit has used David to justify all of their retarded, sacrilegious horseshit. To a man, these cowards take refuge in David and then ignore everything else.
Out and see that not only does God
hates you,
but by him giving David wives, it shows you that that is not sin, because God doesn't sin.
And then all of a sudden his flock is probably going, Pastor, why are you talking about this today? And he goes, I want you to meet my second wife, Sun Yi. She's a lovely woman. She doesn't speak our language, but she will learn one day.
And you go, well, it's different now. The scriptures say, I, the Lord, do not change. Marriage law doesn't change. God's law regarding marriage doesn't change. Moreover, do we truly believe that if Abraham, Jacob, or David resurrected, which is a possibility according to Matthew chapter 27, verses 52 and 53.
This is a cherry-picking motherfucker right here.
When many saints resurrected at the time of Jesus' crucifixion, that era, if those men resurrected because they can, would they not be permitted to hold office or preach in the church?
By the way, if you're a pastor, you should have an encyclopedic knowledge of the Bible. I immediately question your morals and your sincerity when you're a pastor Googling Bible passages going, make my polygamy okay in the eyes of God. When my pastor starts reading specific verses to justify his hedonistic lifestyle, I got to cast some doubt, man. I'm sorry.
Do we really believe that Paul, in one verse, is just disqualifying all the patriarchs who are prophets and elders from being prophets and elders anymore? They're now disqualified. Absolutely not. It's not what Paul is doing. That's ridiculous. How could we possibly? If Abraham resurrected, David resurrected, and came to preach at your church, you really believe he's not allowed because he has more than one wife?
No, I'd say he's not allowed because he's a fucking Jew. I'm so sorry. That didn't mean to come out as hateful as it was, but like, no, get out of my fucking Christian church, bro. What are you doing here?
It's insane. Literally, it's insane. They wrote this.
You know what? His second wife is in the room right now, and she's like, you need to defend us and what we're doing. That's why he keeps looking off camera. He's looking at that second wife going, I'll put a fucking harp in the background. That'll make me look wholesome.
Scriptures we preach, and they wouldn't be allowed to preach those very scriptures that they wrote. That's obnoxious. Are you listening? Moses had more than one wife. Wrote 5 books of the Bible. We won't let him preach, though.
Go convert, you fucking Sorry. I almost used a term that would have gotten me charged with a crime if I said it to Dave Portnoy.
That makes no sense.
See, his wives are in the room giggling. You could hear them giggling. Hey, and bro, put your fucking Xbox controller away next time you want to preach to people.
David wrote the Psalms. He even writes scriptures with commands and things to do. We wouldn't let him preach those things, though. He's not allowed. That doesn't make any sense. Romans 11:29 says, for the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. They're not.
You want to say what Jesus said about this matter? Because Jesus laid it out more than once. One man, one woman, one flesh. You can't be of one flesh if you're one man and 6 women. Jesus said man and woman will be of one flesh. Not of 6 flesh or 7 flesh. You know, I got a village in India you could go to. I'm sure they'd be fine with whatever you wanted to do. I just hope you got a fucking good fastball.
Not in sin by having more than one wife, so their gifts and calling are irrevocable.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just watched is called Pure 100% Tropicopana. And not to really lean in on this guy, but I bet he can't play that fucking harp. I bet you he sucks at playing the harp. Papa Shab says also there's only one fellow who can resurrect according to the scripture. Yeah, I love how this guy's like, yeah, what if all these guys just came back? All right, cool. What if I grew a hand out of my asshole? Could it pick apples off a tree? Great question. Great question. 09 Canyon says it's been permitted during and after war because women were widowed or unable to find a single man. They took multiple wives to protect and support the women. Yeah, we don't have that issue right now, do we? Except in Gaza, but they follow a different book. Their prophet married a 9-year-old and beat her. What the fuck? Loaded Wrench says, is this the church you went to, Aaron? Now. Loaded Wrench says, get baptized in a hot tub, twist her afterwards. That's enough. I think I was having fun a little bit ago. It was fun. For some reason, I can't figure out why. Not as fun now. Not as fun. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. Let's do some numbers tonight. What are we at? $70 away from tonight's goal. Well, let's try knocking that down. And then also 72 memberships away from 400. Look at that. Nice. I just got a notification from USA Boxing that we're good for this year and all of next year. Awesome. And by the way, 9/11 Swim was trying to say that, no, Aaron, that one flesh refers to the child. Genesis 2:24 does not reference children. It describes a man and woman becoming one flesh to defend monogamous marriage. The New Testament also explicitly requires church leaders to be the husband of one wife. The New Testament, following a long biblical tradition, shows that polygamy leads to strife and negative consequences within the family. That's the other problem. People tell these stories from the Old Testament, but they don't say what the Bible says about it and what happens to the people in it. Like, oh, polygamy's in there. Yeah, and the book talks about how fucking shitty and retarded it is. But when people are trying to justify their shitty behavior, you have two choices if you're going to be a Christian. You can be humble and you can repent for your sins, or you can dig around the book and try to find some bullshit cope so that you can live your disgusting lifestyle. Personally, I think it's a lot easier and humble to humble yourself before God and say, I screwed up, I sinned, I did the wrong thing, it led to bad results. You know, Christianity is already lenient enough. Christianity already says, accept me as your savior and repent, and you get another shot at it. You get another go. And that's not good enough for some people. For some people, they have to be like, oh, no, I got to dig around the book and find where it says I can be a piece of shit. And then even the part they find that makes it okay for them to be a piece of shit, the book even says, hey, being a piece of shit like this ends to really bad stuff. Probably shouldn't do it. Nope. It's so goddamn hard to say you're sorry. Adam Simon gifting a membership to Mussolini Diff. Thank you very much. Thank you, buddy. MSO says Aaron Koresh. No, not Aaron Koresh. David Koresh had a shitload of wives. David Koresh. Yeah, I'm on the anti-polygamy side. If you're on the pro-polygamy side, go stand with Vernon over there at Mount Carmel. Duck when the gas canisters are coming in. Taste Fairy Ialto correcting me, saying Aaron, he actually married his wife at 7. He consummated at 9. Oh. You know what? That's on me. That's on me. I can't believe I would get something like that wrong. All right, just under $70 away from tonight. Let's knock that out. Call it another win for the toe. So yes, that guy, he runs a church in Missouri, and polygamy's A-okay with him. Yeah, he listed all of these things, all of these Bible verses for plural marriage. Ormond Church meets on Saturday instead of Sunday and contains no statement of faith on its website. Good. Rich Tidwell, however, does have a personal website that seems mostly focused on the evils of Zionism and the virtues of plural marriage. Well, he's, half right. Broken clock twice a day and all that shit. Sure, you can find random verses about polygamy, but read as a whole. Neither Genesis, Judges, nor 2 Samuel speaks of it in a positive light. And when you read the Bible as a whole, you will not find an endorsement of polygamy within. That's because the theme of the Bible and the various books shows us a negative pattern of polygamy and a more positive depiction of monogamy from Jesus himself. Either you can follow Jesus and be a Christian, or you got to go find some other religion, my friend. I'm sorry. Loaded Wrench says, I'm sure there's going to be an update on this story in the future. Stay tuned. Oh, yeah. You don't see a lot of old polygamy couples running around, do you? You don't see a lot of people in their 60s and 70s who said, oh, yeah, we've been polygamous for 35 years. Usually you ain't getting to 35 months, not without losing a pinky or something. It's got a short lifespan. That's for sure. All right, let's do this Sydney Sweeney thing. A reporter finally decided to ask Sydney Sweeney the important question. What do you think of that damn jeans commercial you were in? Remember, Sydney Sweeney did those great jeans, American Eagle ads where she, zipped up her jeans all seductively and said something breathy into the camera. And then the caption would be, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. And then a bunch of people who didn't have anything to complain about that day because Donald Trump wasn't president yet said, oh my God, it's a Nazi commercial. There might as well be a swastika in it. To which I said, hey, that's what I keep saying. But all these people got mad and said, this is white supremacy. This is them trying to breed Sydney Sweeney and make a bunch of white babies. And then J.D. Vance got hard and he was very excited. But then I think cooler heads prevailed, and I think American Eagle actually did well with that ad, and it was well received from most people because Sydney Sweeney's gorgeous, and people understood that they were doing kind of a, double speak kind of a thing. But when you're a white supremacist hammer, the entire world is a nail Nazi. So these people still are convinced to this day, a small group of them, that Sydney Sweeney was doing a dog whistle to white supremacists. So some homely progressive journalist from, I want to say, the New York Times, sat down with Sydney Sweeney and decided to ask her really brave questions about that American Eagle ad. This is it.
Talk about this whole discourse that doesn't have that much to do with you, and I'm grateful for that. Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself? Okay. Yeah. And the criticism of the content, which was basically that...
This is my favorite part, is when you ask a question and the interviewer is clearly baiting you to give a certain answer so they can get a viral moment. And the interview subject goes, no, spoke for itself. And then the interviewer is like, shit, that's not what I wanted to hear. She's really level-headed and responsible about this. Why don't I try to pressure her by asking the same exact thing, only in another way that will mildly annoy her?
Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself? Okay. Yeah. And the criticism of the content, which was basically
She's
that...
smirking at
maybe
her.
Specifically in this political climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism.
But she didn't. You don't just get to say a thing happened and then say, now address the thing that I just made up in my head. White people shouldn't be talking about genetic superiority. Well, good. I agree. The ad wasn't doing that. It was talking about my pants. We were trying to make people horny for my pants. We weren't eugenics, We didn't think that it would be very sexy. If we wanted to talk about the white race and white genes in our jeans ad, we would have had an AI Dr. Mengele posing. We had a really hot chick in there so that they could imagine getting into her pants.
Broadly speaking, and since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
We should talk about Cassie. You got
And then she moves on. She's like, well, I tried to ask twice. Didn't work out. I guess I'll move on. Like, there's a difference between a journalist asking a question because they genuinely want to know the answer, and then a journalist asking a question because there's a specific answer that they want, and then how they move on when they don't get that answer. In this case, it was a woman not giving that chick the answer she wanted, and her like, all right, fuck it, let's just move on to something else. T. Jefferson says, imagine if she did a furniture commercial. Old JD would pop a gasket. Yeah, he loves couches. Loaded Wrench says, out of the two, Aaron would date the reporter. That forehead. Yeah, and T. Jefferson with a great point. She didn't write the commercial, for God's sake. He did, like, he didn't write, or Sydney Sweeney didn't write the commercial that said Sydney Sweeney has great genes. So even if it was intended to be a white supremacy dog whistle, she didn't have a hand in writing the goddamn thing. Not the person you need to be talking about. $70 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. We appreciate you being here. I got that fucking tooth is still giving me trouble, man. It does not feel good. I'm probably going to have to go in and have I hate the dentist so much. It's going to have to be drilled and filled. That sounds disgusting. I'd honestly like him just to pull it out of my head. The last time I had a filling, they fucked it up. And then the filling fell out. So then they had to drill it away and put another filling in. And that one, I finally told them, I said, just pull it out and replace it. And they did. And that's what I think I want to do with this one. Is just fucking don't drill it 100 times. Don't zzz. Just pull the fucking tooth out. Give me a fake one. I'll take that. But yeah, it's fucking stings right now, brother. And it stings because I'm like taking like extra care of it. So I'm fucking with it too much. I know, but I just hate teeth. I've never been good with them. I brush, I water pick, I do the whole thing. It doesn't matter. I fuck my shit up. $65 away from tonight's goal. Wally World gifting a membership over on Rumble, gifting it to Fill Her Slit. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. So 71 memberships away from 400 on Rumble and $65 away from tonight's goal. An anemic audience tonight, one of our smallest evening show audiences, maybe our smallest evening show audience of all time. Make sure you hit like, you subscribe, you hit follow. And one thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to knock out that 65 because we started at $100. We've made a $35 tonight, but we're going to knock that thing out and call it a win for the toe. So I didn't know, well, I didn't know that this was a thing, and I'm kind of disgusted by it. So you know about Dave Portnoy getting yelled at by some kid in the street. He got called the K word. Dave Portnoy was doing one of his pizza things. Some guy walked by, called him the K word, which First Amendment, freedom of speech. You should have a right in public to yell the K word at somebody. It's not a nice thing to do. It's very bigoted, but free speech protects you being not nice. You know, he didn't actually do anything to Dave Portnoy. But no shit, they arrested this kid and they charged him with a crime and kicked him out of the college he was in. The young man accused of throwing coins and yelling F the Jews at Dave Portnoy. Oh, so this is a different guy from the guy who called him the K word. So Dave Portnoy's really hearing about it. Dave Portnoy outside a Mississippi pizza shop has been charged in the high-profile case. They charged him with disturbing the peace. 20-year-old Patrick McClintock has been accused of disturbing the peace for saying fuck the Jews to Dave Portnoy. That's shitty. I mean, it's not a nice thing to do. He was mean to Dave Portnoy, but Dave Portnoy's got hundreds of millions of dollars. I think Dave Portnoy's going to be okay. I think he can handle the naughty words that somebody yelled at him. Now, as for the alleged crime, the police say every person has the right to feel safe and respected in our community. Offensive words alone are protected. But when behavior disrupts a public event or risks violence, we will take steps to help maintain safety and security. And if this guy wasn't worth hundreds of millions of dollars and didn't have a podcast where he could humiliate your police department, would you have made these same charges? Because I don't think so. Let me do the spoiler for you. You wouldn't. Let's go ahead and watch the event that caused all this. And you tell me if the police should have charged this guy with a crime.
I like it. Hey, the Jews. You Dave Portnoy.
Not cool.
Why you come in the camera, buddy? Why you come here?
Oh my gosh.
So, okay, the guy throws some change at Dave Portnoy's feet and goes, fuck the Jews. And then Dave steps to the guy and goes, why don't you come over here and say that? Why don't you come over? So Dave Portnoy wasn't threatened. Dave Portnoy didn't feel like his safety was in danger. In fact, he was calling the guy over and wanted to start some shit with him. So yeah, you can't convince me that this isn't our two-tiered justice system. You can't convince me that this isn't a rich guy getting his way because he bitched and whined and kvetched online enough, and the police were embarrassed and shamed into doing something. Why? Because Dave Portnoy, a guy who has talked massive amounts of shit about a lot of public figures, got his feelings hurt because someone called him a name. How many times has Dave Portnoy trashed somebody else publicly? How many times has Dave Portnoy not like walked down a sidewalk and yelled something at someone, but gone on a podcast that would be watched by hundreds of thousands, if not a million people, and say really hurtful, offensive things to someone or about someone? A lot. But now and Dave Portnoy is also one of those guys who's like, yeah, none of you online pussies would say that shit out in public to me. Here, one guy actually does go up and do it, and you whine and complain and bitch until somebody charges him with a crime. And he gets kicked out of school. See, like, if Dave Portnoy were a guy who minded his own business, never said anything bad about anyone, I wouldn't be so passionate about this story. But this is the same thing with Shapiro. All these guys who made their bones on the First Amendment and freedom of speech, and all of you guys are snowflakes and you get offended too easily. Now, when it comes time to, when it comes time to people defending or attacking their religion, which should be allowed, don't be a snowflake, don't be a pussy. When it comes to people attacking their religion, now all of a sudden it's okay to clutch your pearls and want that person censored, or in this case, even arrested and charged. I would actually think highly of Dave Portnoy if he came out publicly and said, well, wait a minute, that kid didn't deserve to be arrested and charged with a crime.
That was awful.
Hey, you!
Hey.
So that's it. That's all that happened. And they charged that guy with a crime for it. There's more video that came from this thing. Hold on a minute.
But so far, I like it.
Hey, fuck the Jews! Fuck you, Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. Why come in the camera, buddy? Why come here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on.
I will say this, J.J. McCarthy should not have done that.
I shouldn't yell at those jokes, right? I should be putting handcuffs. That's what you said.
No, handcuffs. No, you can
That's
joke.
what you said. That's what you said. You're an employee. You said you shouldn't be making jokes about jokes.
I never said handcuffs.
Yeah, you did. You said it should be a crime.
In what world?
And he was yelling at Dave Portnoy about something Dave Portnoy said when he was on that podcast, crashing out, saying that saying mean things to Jews should be illegal. He did say that. Dave Portnoy. It's be easy to find the clip. If you type in Dave Portnoy hate speech, yeah, here it is. Here's the clip. This is what that kid was referencing.
Hey, Kirk, if you just want me to kick him out, not mention it, not care that this kid is anti-Semitic, shut up. If you just want me to ignore it.
Don't tell me to shut up.
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's not very nice. Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck. That's kind of hateful if you ask me.
How's that?
Oh, it's kill. I'll never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you, you work for me.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
You little bitch, you work for me.
Sure.
Oh, little bitch.
Oh, you
continue.
don't? For now, quit. I don't care.
Is this show or not a show? Like, is this a show or not a show? Like, we can't have a conversation?
You're an idiot.
Okay, continue.
You're literally...
I've noticed this about these Jewish commentators is that it's always a conversation. It's always a show where we should have free speech and open conversation until it's time to talk about them. Then all of a sudden, it's not okay. Everybody else, it's fine to talk about them. Everyone else, it's fine to criticize them. Like, listen to the way Ben Shapiro and some of these and Mark Levin talk about Muslim people. Now, if they want to talk that way about Muslim people, I think it's fine. But then listen to the way they lose their shit when you talk about Jewish people.
Saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want right fucking now.
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, Dave. Do you want to count up the piles of dead Jewish bodies versus the piles of dead Muslim bodies in the Middle East over the last, I don't know, let's go 80 years? Or 48, 75 years? Let's go since Israel was created. We got more dead Jewish children stacking up, or we got more dead Muslim children? But you can't joke about the Jews, because how many Jews have to die before we stop telling jokes? It should be illegal to tell these jokes. It's the hypocrisy that gets me. It's the fact that Dave Portnoy is probably fine with this kid going to jail and getting arrested and being charged with a crime and the whole thing. 09 Canyon says, but the kid wasn't charged with a hate crime, was he? No, but he was charged with disturbing the peace, which he didn't do. That's not what this guy did at all. Adam Simon says Mark Levin is a cartoon character. Yeah, I think we have a clip of Mark Levin for tomorrow's show. He's talking about Tucker Carlson. I think he's lost his fucking mind. I think Mark Levin is broken. We've got Nick Fuentes callers. We're calling into his radio show and giving him a hard time. Then Tucker Carlson texted him and said, hey, Turning Point USA wants to have you and I together to do a debate at one of their events. And Mark Levin flew off the handle, either on TV or radio, and went fucking mental about it. Mr. B says, officer, he called me a Jew. Well, are you? Yeah, but that's beside the point. I mean, I don't like the idea that Dave Portnoy can just go around, say whatever he wants, run his mouth, but if somebody insults him and what he is, then he can have them arrested. I like the idea of everybody being able to say whatever they want to whoever they want. That's what I want. $65 away from tonight's goal. We started at 100, which means we're at a whopping $35 an hour and a half into tonight's show. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and throw us a membership or two, and let's get this thing knocked out. You'll notice that even though we have record low numbers tonight, still giving you a great show. Still showing up. Throw in a couple of bucks, and let's call this a W, boys and girls. They are responding. Major League Baseball is responding. If you don't think this was because of that arrests and indictment of those two pitchers, I think you're nuts. Major League Baseball and sports books are going to limit bets on pitch-level markets after the pitch rigging scandal. So those two Cleveland Guardians pitchers got arrested for throwing balls on first pitches because people they knew were betting on first pitch balls and strikes, and they were helping them make money. Those guys got arrested. They've been charged with crimes. I think the federal government is continuing to crack down on all this sports betting stuff. We probably haven't heard the last of it. But you're going to have to do this. They're going to have to start eliminating a lot of, if not most of these prop bets, because it's that prop bet market where you leave yourself open to the most game fixing. Because you don't have to throw an entire game. You don't even have to, cover a certain point spread. I mean, it can be things like first pass of the game will be complete or incomplete. And the quarterback can make that happen. 3 and out or a sustained drive for this, you can do shit like that. And you can help rig it. First pitch strike or first pitch ball. So now Major League Baseball and the sports books are getting rid of, or limiting the pitch level markets. And I think it's only the beginning. I think you definitely have to limit that stuff. I think you have to take those markets, make them unavailable, because it's just so perfect for rigging. I mean, you're inviting trouble. Catherine, wait a minute. I don't think this is the guy. Somebody sent me a thing that said Catherine Ashley Curtis and Benjamin David Volin were married by Rabbi Allison Van on July 3rd, 2016 at the Taj Mahal in Boston. I don't think that's what we were talking about. Oh, Ben Volin tweeted out, regardless of who you support politically, shame on the NFL and Fox for letting a football game be hijacked by partisan politics. Oh, because Donald Trump did the Lions-Commanders game. Well, look, as someone who was watching that game after the Vikings game, that game was a blowout and it was really boring. They needed somebody to spice it up. Let's take a listen to what the president said.
Respects to combat, war, etc., and you kind of take some of the same strategies.
And by the way, the context of this is the NFL was honoring veterans for Veterans Day, and they brought the president in. The president was at the game, and they brought him in to do some commentary.
I'd love to hear your thoughts about where we are as a nation, how we're doing.
Well, we're doing great, and recruitment is doing phenomenally. People have spirit. Our stock market hit an all-time high. Prices are coming down. We inherited a mess. Prices are coming way down. And I'll tell you, our country has over $17 trillion being invested in it, which is a record.
So I don't understand how that's a bad thing to say. What's the president supposed to say when they ask him, how's the country doing? Is he supposed to go, dog shit, we're never coming back from this? Right? Like, I listened to it, and I was watching the game. The president was talking about football the whole time. The president was talking about the game. They asked him one question about how the country's doing. He answered that, and then they moved on. So I don't know. That looks like people who are looking to be offended. Das Optic Nerve says, at this point, WWE is going to be the least scripted sport. You want to know this? I believe, I know a few years ago they were, but I'm pretty sure that you can still make bets on pro wrestling. Can you gamble on pro wrestling? In the United States, you cannot legally gamble on the outcome of pro wrestling matches through regulated sports books like DraftKings or FanDuel. Professional wrestling outcomes are predetermined and scripted. However, some people do bet on pro wrestling through unregulated offshore betting sites. So there are gambling options for WWE. Yeah, Rabbi Smoothie says, prices of what are coming down? No, I didn't say that Donald Trump told the truth when he was talking to all those people. I just said that he said prices were coming down. James says, Tyler Oliveira in India Poo Festival was disgusting. He posted it. Yeah, we watched a little bit of it. We watched a little bit of the James Oliveira thing, and I can confirm. Fucking disgusting. Diamonds and Henna says, I'm a veteran, and I'm proud he spoke. Yeah, again, like if you ask the president of the United States, how's the country doing on national television, he's not going to be like, dog shit, everybody abandon ship. In fact, might want to ski-daddle to another country. No. $65 away from tonight's goal. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It was only $100 tonight. I was kind of coming in here, even though I've given you everything. I've given you my all. I was kind of coming in here going, yeah, tonight should be pretty smooth sailing. And we've made a whopping $35 with our record low audience tonight. That's okay. We're still having fun. We're going to knock out that 65. Just show me you're alive. Pop in a membership, pop in a couple of bucks. Let's get that number down a little bit. And let's take a look at our buddy Ben Shapiro. You know, this is an older clip, but I found this when I was scrolling around today, and I had to bring it up. It's Ben Shapiro on The Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne the God. And Charlemagne was asking Ben Shapiro, like, hey, man, what do you think about reparations for black people? Black people had to go through slavery here in the United States. It was a long, long time. They didn't get their freedom till 1865. What do you think about reparations for slavery? Now, Ben Shapiro, conservative guy, allegedly, he's against reparations. Well, Charlemagne the God, not the dumbest bag of hammers in the tool shed. So Charlemagne the God came prepared. He asks Ben Shapiro, what do you think about reparations for black people? And Ben goes, terrible, hate it, awful idea. I got to say, I think you're going to love what Charlemagne hits him back with.
I think that on a sort of public policy level, reparative policies don't tend to be nearly as effective as people want them to be, historically speaking.
They work for Jewish people.
In what way?
Jewish people that receive reparations.
Atta boy, Charlemagne. Wait a minute. Work for Jewish people. What do you mean? Well, Jewish people got reparations for the Holocaust. Ooh. And by the way, Ben Shapiro going, it actually doesn't work as a reparative policy, as like to build an economy. That's not what it's for. It's basically back pay. Like the Jews, they got money for, being fucked with in the Holocaust. What you'd basically be giving black people reparations for is their ancestors' back pay for all the labor they did in the cotton farms. So when Ben Shapiro's like, we can't do reparations for black people because it probably wouldn't do anything to help the economy. Yeah, that's not why we do it. And again, I'm not saying we should or shouldn't do reparations. I just like to see Charlemagne hit Ben right between the eyes with the, worked for the Jews, didn't it? You got it from the Holocaust. And let's be honest. The Holocaust, I mean, that was a, 6-year window? I mean, the killing part was about 3 years. I mean, slavery we're talking black chattel slavery, hundreds of years we're talking about here.
Jewish people that receive reparations?
You mean Holocaust reparations, for example, from Germany? So I think that first of all, that there was like a gigantic fight actually in Israel over whether Holocaust survivors should accept reparations from Germany.
Oh, yeah, you guys remember that. I mean, remember when the Israelis were like, oh, no, we can't take the free money from you. That would be immoral and wrong. We're really debating whether or not we should take the money. Oh, yeah, I'm sure there was a great amount of guilt and debate about the Holocaust reparations. Ben's not wrong. There was a debate about whether or not to hold out for more.
Because the idea was that it's allowing them to expiate their sins of the past, and they shouldn't be allowed to expiate those sins, and it's allowing them to sort of buy off the history for $50,000 or whatever it is. But that is not the reason why Israel has become successful economically, like just on a success level.
Right, it's because we give them a fuckload of cash.
Mm-hmm. The reality is that cutting people checks rarely makes them more successful from the government. What usually makes people more...
You know what makes people more successful? When your school system actually teaches them financial literacy. Or when parents teach their children financial literacy. The Acorns Investing app has something really cool. You can open a checking account, savings accounts, and investment accounts for your kids if you have the premium deal. And with that, your kids can earn like $2 or $3 for every financial class they take. It teaches them about budgeting. It teaches them about earning. It teaches them about expenses. It teaches them about investing, all this stuff. And they can watch these classes and take a test at the end, and Acorns will give them money. I think it's an awesome, awesome program. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. You don't learn about borrowing and interest rates and mortgages and loans and shit like that while you're in high school. Yet the first thing they're going to do when you get out of high school is they're going to ask you to borrow a shitload of money to go to college. Huh. No wonder handing people money doesn't do anything economically to raise them up. They haven't been given the tools necessary to know how. And you can't tell me that ain't intentional.
Successful is a determined attempt to become the things that the meritocracy demands of you. Right? So there were no long scale.
I think the U.S. foreign assistance for Israel has helped financially.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the U.S. foreign assistance for Israel actually is a bargain for the United States because.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, dude. Isn't it amazing when it's black people getting reparations? That's not good. That's really terrible. Well, what about Jewish people? They got them for the Holocaust. Well, that's different, and we totally didn't want that, and you guys basically had to force it into our hands. Yeah, but America gives Israel billions of dollars to fund the military so they can grow their economy. Well, actually, when you hand us Jews all that money, that's actually a really good deal for America. Really? You don't say. Ben is a walking cope machine.
Because Israel doesn't need the money. I've said this before.
Well,
Israel,
give it to us.
I mean,
we'll take it.
That's fine.
The black community would gladly take it.
That's in it.
I can't speak for everybody.
It's like $3 billion a year. We should point out at this point that we spend, I think, $6 billion a year on our military bases in Japan, $5 billion a year on our military bases.
What it is has nothing to do. Hold on. $3.5 billion is what we give Israel in 1 year. 3.5. Let's get this to billion. Divided by 13% of the country is black. Got under 400 million people in the country, 10%. So let's say 13% is about 40 million people. 40 million black people. That's $87 a year for each black person in the United States. Times, let's go 50 years. Still only $4,300. But let's take how much money we've given Israel over the years, and let's start giving that to black people. It would be a good start, and I bet you Ben Shapiro would totally be for it.
In Germany, we spend an awful lot of money. That helps an awful lot of other countries. Israel has to spend all of that money, by the way, in the United States on military products. So
that's great for Raytheon and Boeing and all of those places, and Northrop Grumman. I don't really see how that's a benefit to me or black people.
All of the money that we send to it, we actually don't send money to Israel. We send military product to Israel that is made in the United States. And so it actually is a subsidy to the American defense industry. And there is a deal with Israel where Israel does intelligence sharing and also develops its own.
Like warning us that 9/11 is going to happen? You mean that kind of intelligence sharing? Yeah, what a bargain we're getting, Ben.
Own tech and can't disseminate it to the world. So, for example, the helmets that our F-35 pilots use, those are Israeli developed helmets like that we can see over the horizon, for example. That's because Israel developed technological add-ons. So the idea that this is sort of like a zero sum, the money goes out, we get nothing back, that's actually not
cool. So we give them billions of dollars every year, and once in a while Israel gives us a high-tech helmet software patch. Wow. I tell you what, stop the presses. You know what? Now I feel bad. We're robbing them. The balls on this fucking guy. Diamonds and Henna gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. Thank you.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Attaboy, Karmic. You tell him. You tell him, Karmic. $5 from Rusty Grammar says, accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Put this on Miss Tay's account. Simp. All right, that's going to put us at 45 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Wally World with 5 gifted memberships.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Thank you very much, Wally World. Now we're $20 away from tonight's goal. Look at these guys coming up strong. They're coming up aces tonight. Thank you guys very much. You're down to 20 away, and you're 66 Rumble memberships away from 400. Thank you guys so much. So much. Look at that. I just asked him. I said, guys, Rally. How's that? How about a little rally? And what do? They rally for the toe. Gekkokujo getting a membership. Good Citizen Media. These are all the biggest steel toe fans they are. They get rewarded for watching. Mothman, Mr. Marsh, and Droopy Drawers all getting a membership. And our members-only show will be on Thursday once again at noon. Thank you. We've got Mike Erb with $5 says, thanks for regurgitating what Ben says. Well, I'm just trying to put it in a way that, everyone can understand what Ben is saying. In this case, it's just such a great deal. We Americans are lucky that we get to give Israel so much money. Reparations for our own black people here in the United States that would then get spent in our economy. Piss on that. We got money to give Israel, and God, we should be so lucky. $15 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys so much. Just a couple more gifted memberships on Rumble, and we're home free. Thank you very much. Hey, man, the goal is life, and I appreciate you getting it down there. You're the absolute best. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. All right, we got a few more of these to go here. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump did some pardons this week. I think this weekend, actually, he did these pardons. I think it might make you mad. Again, it's just another example of Donald Trump not necessarily serving America first. This second term so far has been paying back the people who put him in office and not necessarily thinking about us. Beans with bacon soup. Jesus, I really made that guy. I will say this, the anti-steel toe crowd is coping hard after the Friday they had. It is nice to see. They all were questioning their religion for a little while, and they had that one brief moment of self-awareness where they went, are we the baddies? Are we following a bunch of sociopaths? And they were, but they kind of gave that up. And they're like, no, toe man bad. It has to be toe man bad. So they ran to their hug boxes today. They didn't want to hear me give it to them straight. So they ran to the old hug boxes, and they're convinced that they're okay now. You guys, you know what? I did say today I don't have a lot of faith that you guys would shake loose from your brainwashing, but I thought this was the closest you've ever been. And I did get messages from like 3 of you. But for the most part, look, you want to hear that toe man bad. You want to hear that toe man evil. And even though that entire thing just got completely shattered and I turned out to be a pretty cool guy, your brains, you just didn't have the capacity in there to handle it. You felt shit start to shake and vibrate. And you went, fuck, if I don't go back to my delusions, my head might explode. So you went back. Disappointing, but not unexpected. Boys and girls, it looks like that government shutdown is about to end. It looks like it could end any day now. So let's go ahead and enjoy the last few hours we have of people bitching about their lack of EBT, shall we? This was one that got posted to, I believe, Clown World on Twitter. You tell me what you see in this list. This was a person. I don't know if it's a female because her TikTok name is Oh That's Her. You tell me what you noticed. She made a list of all the responsibilities she has and the benefits she gets to help with those responsibilities. You tell me what you see on that list that makes the government program seem a little bit of a slap in the face to us taxpayers. Here we go.
It's the way you put it down.
So I'm not going to play the copywritten music, but there it is. It says, I pay taxes. I get EBT. I have a degree. I have a career. I have kids. I have a mortgage. I have a car note. I have bills. I am the working poor. That's right. This woman borrowed money to buy a car. instead of taking public transportation or buying a shit box for cash. But yet she gets EBT. She has a mortgage. She's a homeowner, which means she has home equity. But she still gets our money. She still is on EBT. Unbelievable. I mean, we should all be so lucky. So she is she is, by the way, not the working poor. You are not, the working poor don't have a mortgage. The working poor don't have assets. The working poor don't have a vehicle payment to make. The working poor drive an old jalopy shitbox that breaks down a lot, or they ride the bus. The working poor rent some flea-infested shithole that they can barely afford every month. To say that you have a mortgage and a car note and that you're the working poor is such an insult to the actual working poor in this country. It makes me sick. And how about the fact that people can have all those things and still get government benefits? Isn't that wild? Taste Fairy Iolto says, I hope the shit about Mikey isn't true. So do I, but the people who did that to him don't give a fuck. Because honestly, all they wanted was Toe Man bad. I need to cope about the Toe Man. He's a bad guy. And they didn't get their way. So they fed this poor fucking guy to the wolves and they don't give a shit. But don't worry. As long as you can convince yourself that Toe Man bad, you can excuse that like the most evil shit people have probably done in this area for a long time is totally okay. Because they were trying to show Toe Man bad. And by the way, make them comment, make them address the fact that I fucking totally told the truth, which isn't surprising. They'll still cope about it. The one great part about that whole thing is they've all been exposed and they cannot handle it. And they'll be coping about that forever. It would be so easy for them to say, we were wrong about Aaron. Aaron actually seems like he's a pretty cool guy who makes friends pretty much everywhere he goes, which would be honest and it would be the truth. Can't do it. I dare them to do it. They won't be able to. They can't. I mean, they had to cope even harder. Even harder. Like this Coach Really Cool Bird guy in the chat, he's losing his fucking shit just writing thing after thing about what a bad guy Toe is. As a matter of fact, you would think I'm paying Coach Really Cool Bird to just prove what I'm saying correct. They can't, but they can't help it. They cannot control themselves. It's impossible for them. Thank you to Rocky for the $15 over on PayPal. Guess what that makes it, guys? An effortless win for the Toe. Thank you very much.
On the altar of God, total resistance against every form of tyranny, against the mind of men.
And that also means that tonight's goal being hit means bad news for some.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
You poor devils. You poor devils. You poor kids. Oh, Coach Really Cool Bird. This is, I know. They follow people with mental illness who have a sick, disgusting obsession. It was exposed Friday. It was laid bare. I wish I had an audience that stupid. I wish I had that dumb of an audience. I actually am impressed because you can lie to those people. You can bullshit those people. You can feed them a load of horse shit. And the urge, the need they have to hate something else because their life sucks is so strong that they'll just believe it. They will watch it all. The facade will crumble down and they'll know they've lost. And as long as they can all retreat to their hug box, it'll be okay. It's like I said, the war's over. I won. And everyone outside of their little community of a few hundred people thinks they're insane. But as long as they stay inside that little community and never grow, they'll never have to come to terms with it. That's why they hate when I take my shots at them, because it's the only exposure they get to it. Another win for the Toe. Thanks for being here no matter who you are. And yes, we're still enjoying that huge victory in the end of the war. The Jews are running to their Jewish hug boxes, and he's the bad man. I guarantee they have a group text and they're all, we need to figure out a message of what we're going to say. Don't worry, you guys don't need to craft a message. The people who watch you are so fucking bottom feeder stupid. They're going to believe anything. And now what's great is because of that, you can't tell me I'm wrong ever again because I got a hit rate of 100. All right, let's go into this pardon stuff. Here's the problem. My audience, a little higher up than you guys, they don't like me talking about this shit. They're like, this is boring. This is retarded. This is animal shit. This is like we're all a bunch of fucking deer. I got to move on and actually talk about something or these people will fuck off. So Donald Trump pardoned Rudy Giuliani. I just want to point something out. Donald Trump pardoned Rudy Giuliani before we got the Epstein files, before we balanced the budget, before we made any of the cuts Doge requested we make, before Elon Musk was allowed to finish his work at Doge, before we did anything to stop creating new foreign wars, Rudy Giuliani got himself a pardon. I'm really glad this administration has got its priorities straight. Oh, by the way, I need to update the standings. I apologize. I was too busy gloating. And by the way, I'm purposely baiting you fucking people. So as I sit here and purposely tell you to your face that I'm baiting you, you continue to respond. You're really giving me more confidence than I deserve. I'll be honest. Wally World, by the way, is now in fourth place with $30. Thank you, Wally World. Miss Tay getting Rusty Grammar's $5. That puts her at $30 in central booking. And now David falls out of central booking at $25. Sorry, David. Diamonds and Henna gifting a membership on YouTube. Thank you very much. Adam Simon gifting a membership on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. Now we're $5 into tomorrow night. You little fuckers. Thank you so much. So Donald Trump gave pardons to Mark Meadows, his former chief of staff, and Rudy Giuliani. Now, this is about the 2020 election stuff. Ed Martin, the government's pardon attorney, posted a signed proclamation on social media granting a complete, full, and unconditional pardon that also names conservative attorneys Sidney Powell and John Eastman. The document, released online late Sunday, makes clear the pardon does not extend to Trump. Presidential pardons only cover federal crimes, and none of Trump's allies faced federal charges. Still, the move underscores his push to reshape the narrative of the 2020 election that he lost to Joe Biden. The White House did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment. This is kind of one of those dirty pardons that every president does. You know, you pardon all your buddies. You know, you give them all a break. You know, all of these guys. Now, I think a lot of these dudes that tried to, they tried to bring the 2020 election stuff to court. And I really don't think that they should have been charged with crimes for bringing this shit to court. I don't think they should have been excoriated the way they were for bringing this stuff to court. I think you should have a right to claim that the election wasn't legitimate. And if you think you've got evidence that the election wasn't legitimate, you should be allowed to present it, and then a judge can decide if it's worth, having a hearing over. And I really don't think that these guys got that. I feel like this election just got pushed through. Let's get it done. Let's call it over with. And if you question it, you're bad, you're crazy, or even worse, you might be an enemy of the state or breaking the law. And I would feel like our democracy should be strong enough. Any democracy should be strong enough to be able to withstand people questioning whether or not the election was legitimate. I don't know. I don't really think that all those guys, and especially those attorneys, like those attorneys who presented that information to the court, they were threatened to be charged with crimes because they presented the evidence. So their job is to present their client's evidence. These judges who have now been pardoned presented their client's evidence, and they were going to get charged with a crime for presenting the evidence, for doing their job. That 2020 election was really fucked up. I mean, not just the way the votes were counted, but also the way they treated any challenge to that election in court as though it was like sacrilege, and how dare you, you can't do that. So if you take to the streets and you protest it like January 6th, that's evil, that's an insurrection, and that's awful, and we don't do that here. But then if you go the other route, you go, okay, well, we still think that we have all this evidence that shows that this election is fucked up and the court should hear it. If you do it that way, we might charge you for doing that too. It's like, well, then what recourse do these people have to present their evidence? And if their evidence is bullshit, then let them show the evidence. It can be entered into the record. We can all see it. We can all determine if it's bullshit or not. They wanted to push that 2020 election forward so quickly. And the way they met any questions asked, it was like, it reminded me of when we were trying to go to war with Iraq. And anytime someone would ask a question like, hey, does Saddam really have weapons of mass destruction? Because the guys who investigate weapons of mass destruction, they can't find any. I think he might not have them. How dare you? You're un-American. You don't care if the terrorists win and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, wow, you guys really don't want to debate this. What that usually means is they've already made up their mind and they're trying to get to a destination. That was the same thing with the Democrats in the 2020 election. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it at all. Yeah, Sam Show says, every time you bring that shit up, your numbers drop by 10. Yes, because my audience is way smarter than these other people, and they want to hear something a little more higher up the food chain than a fat guy, a street shitter who's got mental illness, a Jewish guy who can't handle criticism. I mean, and the evil thing they did to a mentally struggling guy. I mean, I get it that you guys who are mad at me, I get that you don't want to look in the mirror because it's a nasty picture. But someday when you're all grown up, you're going to see that the toe was not the bad guy in this story. And I hope you're going to feel ridiculous. Boy, that incognito guy really got quiet after I asked about how his wife's new job was going. I was trying to congratulate him. The Pentagon's a big deal. I'd love to have her on as a guest sometime. She's a media figure, right? Why not, incognito? All right, let's go to this fucking sign of the time. This is so a sign that fall is here and the season does not belong to guys. It's pumpkin spice season, and all of these like morning news talk shows, they have to all do their puff pieces. This next one is about as fall white girl as it's going to get. So get your Ugg boots, get a fleece blankie, and get ready to tear your own eyeballs out of your head. Here you go.
Who needs a cup for a pumpkin spice latte when you have the actual pumpkin? I'm at the Smoothie Garden in Fed Hill.
See, I've been reading the Bible lately, and some of you may not know this, but this is actually a sign of the apocalypse. Pumpkin spice lattes poured into pumpkins. It wasn't bad enough. They didn't have enough. Holy shit, we get it. You love fall. You love leaves. You love pumpkins. We had to pour the pumpkin spice latte into an actual pumpkin.
A latte to talk about.
Oh, and by the way, they're going to love their latte puns. A latte to talk about. Everyone they interview for the story is going to think this is, oh my God, this is so cute. Oh my God, this is so great. And I understand I'm part of the problem because I just can't accept this for what it is, lean in, have some fun with it. It's just that white women have this way of, I don't know, what should I say this? Devaluing the culture. I mean, we're down to pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkins, and that can get us to forget anything else that's going on. I mean, on one hand, I'm jealous because it's amazing to be able to just tune out the world like that. On the other hand, it's fucking retarded. It really is dumb.
Let's do something a little different for the fall. Yes, do a pumpkin,
there are way too many black people in this story.
A pumpkin latte.
Pumpkin spice, everything nice, has been pretty popular on their seasonal menu.
They travel 45 to an hour. They love it.
So owner Montana Logan figured, why stop at...
Why does that black girl have a white girl's name even? This story is fucking with me. Oh, it's Baltimore. Well, that makes sense.
Halloween. She's keeping the drink around until the end of November, serving the latte and the pumpkin itself.
You want the circle to be kind of wide so you could get all the good whipped cream around. You want to gut it real good.
Fill it with ice, then their pumpkin spice latte. Oh, and top it off with a mini pie.
They say it tastes very refreshing and it wakes them up. It's the best latte they ever had.
Data from Neil.
It's a fucking drink, okay? It's a beverage, for the love of Christ.
Nielsen shows Americans spend about $500 million on pumpkin spice products every year.
No, we fucking don't. We don't spend $500 million on pumpkin shit every year. And by the way, not pumpkin shit like going to the pumpkin patch. Pumpkin spice specifically. Lattes, candles, plug-ins, dog shit. $500 million.
From crowds waiting hours for the Barnes pumpkin latte on Long Island.
Like a girl was just trying to get her coffee and came out with this.
With others bringing pumpkins as cups to Starbucks.
It wasn't no place in Baltimore who was doing it. Yeah. So I was like, let's just do something that nobody else is doing here.
But you understand that, like, the one thing black women definitely have over white women is you don't get fascinated by really stupid shit. And now you've taken that away from yourselves. It's a fucking drink.
That's my whole goal, to be different and stand out.
And that's exactly what she's been doing. The smoothie shop went viral over the summer for their watermelon and pineapples.
Whoa. Easy. I don't know if the watermelon smoothie and watermelon is a little too on the nose for a neighborhood. I mean, I'm even offended.
With Italian ice. And next up, there's something brewing for the matcha lovers.
Pumpkin matcha. Yes, and the pumpkin.
Hold on a second. I got to tell you guys, and I'm so glad to tell you this. I don't know what the fuck matcha is. That must be a new thing that I don't even. Are they mispronouncing mocha? Or is matcha a thing? Because I have never heard of matcha. I don't know what it is. I hope they don't show it in this story because I don't want to know what it is. But I have a feeling that I'm going to hate it.
Montana says trends like this keep sales going, especially in the colder months. She's also celebrating a little over a year since opening. Montana was actually looking to start another type of business, but says this space was meant for something more fruitful.
I was looking for a child care center. And this fell into my lap, and I was like, well, I love making smoothies, so why not open up a smoothie shop?
I mean, I don't mean to tell you your business, but if you want to open up a daycare center, talk to the Somalis here in St. Cloud. They can show you how to open one, make millions of dollars, and never actually have to watch any kids. It's great. I mean, you know what? I think I kind of like this, actually. I think I'm on her side. Because in this case, it is a black woman feeding on the shitty obsessions of white ladies, and I think I'm okay with that. I think I would consider that a good thing. Sam Show says that's a lot of work for a gimmick. Well, it's probably about $40 a pop, so, you know. You get your money's worth. That was a swerve in that story that I did not see coming. The black lady is the one making the pumpkin spice latte. Yeah, good for her. Take all the, you know what? That's reparations. Take all the white women's money. I like it. Taste Fairy Ialto says it's a watermelon, banana, flamin' hot Cheetos smoothie. Okay, never mind. It can get more on the nose. My bad. It can get more on the nose. Oh, by the way, I was going to ask about the Johnny thing today. The change we're making this week in the schedule that Johnny and I talked about. Because I wanted to give Johnny an extra hour of sleep every day. So instead of 2 days of 4.5, we're giving Johnny three 3-hour days. So he's going to go 7 to 10 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, instead of 6 to 10:30 Monday, Tuesday. And that means that we'll only be doing one solo show every week. And then, of course, Rumble Link Friday. I didn't really take it to the crowd. I didn't really take it to the audience on that one this morning. But if you like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know also. I'm a fan of it. I am. Taste Very Ialto says Rusev Matcha. I don't think that's what matcha is. Fine. I'll look it up. What is matcha? A finely ground powder made from specifically grown and processed green tea leaves. Oh, it's white as fuck. Never mind. Unlike other green teas. Oh, so this is an even more hippie green tea? Unlike other green teas where you steep and discard the leaves, with matcha, you consume the entire leaf, resulting in a more concentrated flavor and higher nutrient content. It has a vibrant green color and a unique vegetal flavor with hints of sweetness and umami. Oh boy, that's peak whiteness. I really don't think it can get much whiter than that. You know what I want to do for the rest of overtime here? I figured I could open up the next 2 or 3 stories and we could do a little, we could check out the news and whatnot. Or what we could do is we could get into, I want to go see more of this shit festival. I need to see more of the Indian Poo Flinging Festival. Now that the goal's been hit a long time ago and everything else. Indian Poo Flinging Festival. This Tyler Oliveira documentary. Here we go. I need to know more about this because this whole community seems positively thrilled about all the cow shit that they collect throughout the year just to fling it at each other one afternoon. And the rest of India is so embarrassed by these people that they threatened to murder this Tyler Oliveira guy if he published his documentary about the shit festival. This was uploaded 1 day ago. It has 1.8 million views. Holy shit. All right, let's pick up where we left off.
Amazing.
Yes. They believe their God also originated from the cow dung. So the cow dung is like a blessing. That is why they believe.
So in our mythology, a phoenix rises up from the ashes to form a flaming bird. In this village, their god rises up out of a pile of cow shit, so we all have to chuck cow poop at each other. Just not making any judgment, just making sure I understand.
Using that cow dung, it heals, gives them prosperity and blessings. They believe if you participate in the festival, if you have any wish, and if you're not granting a child, so the Lord will fulfill your wishes.
And is it just for a good time too?
Well, good time is part of every festival.
Right. I mean, good time is part of every festival. Some of them have a beer garden. Some of them have a band shell. Some of them have a grandstand. Some of them have a massive dirty mud pit where you throw cow poop at each other. You know, fun comes in all different shapes and sizes.
Let's go. All right, now the village leader is going to show me the biggest pile of dung in the village. After the locals
And it is my neighbor, Frank. He is a big piece of shit.
confirmed I could participate in the festival tomorrow. I wanted to see the sheer scope of how much cow poop was collected for the festival. I began to see piles.
And look at that. They starve their poor cows. So all of these guys are going to gather in the village, throw cow shit at each other. Meanwhile, these cows look like warmed over death and you can see all their rib cages. For an animal you hold sacred like a god, you feed them like a runway model.
On piles of cow poop everywhere in the village. Cow dung. Oh my God. Good God. Look at that pile. It's huge. It's huge. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow.
India's #1 export. Shit.
That is a large stockpile of cow dung. I'm getting giddy just thinking about it. I'm getting a little bit too excited.
That's not giddy. That's pink eye, brother. That's an itch. You might want to go check the doctor for that one. I mean, not in that village. He'll just tell you to eat cow shit. If you were joining us earlier, there was a guy taking this guy around the village going, if you eat the cow poop, it cuts down on your risk of cancer. And the guy took a pinky of the cow shit, and like it was Coke. He just rubbed it on his gums. And
What I mean, tomorrow we will throw it at each other. It'll cure sicknesses, perform miracles, fulfill dreams, anything and everything. This is miraculous. Our other guy said he has his own
Fulfill dreams? What, at the bottom of those shit piles? Are there H-1B visas?
stockpile. Everyone has their own stockpile.
Underneath each one of these piles is an American doctor whose job you'll be taking. All right. Yay. I just want to say before we go any further into this story, diversity is our strength.
How long did it take? 4 months. 4 months. 5 months. 5 months. 5 months.
15,000.
15, that's it? The pile's going to be huge tomorrow. Tomorrow, I suspect it's going to be 20 feet in the air. It's huge. Happy Diwali. Truly, everyone is smiling.
Yes, that's right. Happy Diwali. Happy your religion's most fundamental and celebrated holiday. You guys got your shit-flinging arm warmed up? You don't want to pull a muscle in the shit pit.
And the village leaders...
When he said get in the pit and try to love someone, this is not what Kid Rock was talking about, boys and girls.
Taking me somewhere. He has a vision. And you might be wondering, after the villagers cover their bodies in cow poop, how exactly do they clean themselves afterwards?
It's India. What do you mean clean themselves? They bathe in a giant river that they also shit into. It's, in India, they call it the circle of life.
Behind me is the lake where they're going to bathe themselves in after the event.
No, I was kidding. I was joking around. I was trying to say something so ridiculous that even the shit flingers in this village wouldn't do it. I'm tired of being right all the time.
It looks maybe not like the cleanest place to take a bath afterwards.
After they'll go home and they'll take a clean bath also from their own water.
Oh, so don't worry. They will dive into the shit pile in the river and then they will go home and they will clean themselves in their own house. Then what? Why don't they just go to their own house and just clean off and not bathe in the poop river? Well, it's something about gods. You know, honestly, I can't believe you haven't been able to tell that we've completely lost the plot in this village.
Also, but first...
Over there down the road is the defunct melted down nuclear reactor, and the fallout leaks into that river that we bathe in right there.
It's a ritual.
This is going to be amazing. You've never celebrated Goraba before.
That is a fucked up definition of amazing, my friend.
No, this is because this is the only place in whole of India where they celebrate it.
So disclaimer, not...
That guy on the motorcycle, he was trying to hightail it out of town as fast as he could.
All of India celebrates this event.
Of course, yes. No.
And we need to let that be known.
Sure.
But this village does.
This village does. Because this village is named Gomatipura, which is village of cows, village for cows.
But it's important.
Right. So, you know, it makes sense. If it's the village for cows, you bathe in their shit once a year. I get it.
To acknowledge that cow dung is considered holy in Hinduism and believed to have purifying and sanctifying properties. Many people smear it inside their homes to purify the space, and it's believed that the goddess Lakshmi herself resides within it. Do you want to say anything?
You still feeling liberal, like all religions are the same and all religions are equally sacred and America should be a melting pot for all different... We're smearing shit on the walls, folks.
Anything about Goraba?
Yeah, bro, this is like a festival we are celebrating around 300 years back. Like our god, the Vireshwara Swami, is born from this cow dung, so we are celebrating this.
Okay, are you nervous?
Like, that sounds like something I'd say to someone to insult them. Like, your god probably comes from a pile of cow shit. Oh my God, you know about Anesh Panuru as well? I wonder if that guy who was in our chat earlier with the Indian wife, I wonder if he celebrates the shit-flinging festival. You think that... What was his name? Starts with an I? I mean, I know his real name, but I don't want to embarrass the poor guy. He hasn't shown up in the chat since he left, or since we pointed that out. I wonder if he and his wife throw shit at each other this week.
No,
You're excited?
I'm excited. This is not first time for me. I'm playing for 16 years.
Okay. And have you witnessed any healing miracles? Have you seen anyone be healed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miracles.
1, 2, 3. Happy Goraba! He's showing me the largest pile in the village right now. He's a very nice man. The whole village is very friendly. Hello. Happy Diwali. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone here is extremely nice. I would recommend to come down here.
It's probably all the shit.
Nicest village I've been to, maybe. Insane. The world is huge and wildly different from one another. In this culturally homogenized, globalized planet we live in, it's easy to think that we're all the same, but truly there are some fascinating cultural differences.
Right. It's as I sit down here in the village that throws poop at each other, I'm reminded that not all cultures are the same. Ours is way, way better than a lot of them, like this one.
Some ancient traditions like this that are breathtaking. Truly, everyone is smiling. Oh, there it is. There's even more. It keeps coming. More cow dung right here for Goraba. Are you excited for Goraba?
Yes.
Look at all this, the sheer quantity of cow dung. And there's even more.
Yes, I am going to take my brother's face and I am going to rub it face first into the cow shit.
Truly huge. This is a massive pile. Everyone has their own stockpile. Okay, we have cow.
It's good. Like
this
snowballs.
man who's just leading me somewhere.
Except poop.
Even more cow dung. It just keeps coming. Simon, how will they move all the poop? Well, tractor. They will use tractors to move all of this poop to the city center. Right. Unbelievable.
That's good. So we take a bunch of stinky, smelly cow shit and we just dump it basically like what would be your downtown where you have a lot of shops if you live in a small town. Now just imagine that with unending piles of cow shit one day. And now you have India.
Unbelievable. The logistics.
I can see why metropolitan Indians wanted to murder this guy. I get it. This is humiliating. I wouldn't want anybody to know this about my country.
To move all of this cow poop, they've taken several months to collect it all. Look at all this. Look at all of this. My God. That is cow shit right behind me. That is cow.
Hey, look, he's standing in the Democratic Party's platform. Hey, oh, that's a Reagan joke. That's a Reagan. I stole that one.
That's cow shit. Slippery? Okay. And my shoe right now is covered in cow shit. Cow poop exploded.
It'd be funny if he picked up a handful and just threw it at one of the kids. He's like, getting started early. Whack. Oh, that's good. We're going to put a firecracker in a pile of cow shit and spray it everywhere. This kid's going to be an engineer with an H-1B visa someday.
Cow poop bomb. The innovations here are breathtaking. Okay, that will be used tomorrow to transport the cow dung through the massive city center pile. Fireworks you keep hearing are celebrating Diwali. We have even more cow poop. It just keeps coming. Wow. Can I smell it? You thought that pile over there was big? You haven't seen a fraction of what you'll see tomorrow. After seeing the sheer scale of poop gathered for the festival, the next day, it was time to celebrate. I might need to throw on a hazmat very quickly. I'm out. We have traveling villagers here to celebrate. There is complete chaos happening.
Well, that's great. So people come from outside of this village purposely to throw poop at each other. Totally normal. I mean, why wouldn't you travel from miles around and cover yourself in bacteria and dirt?
Right now, just look. All sorts of people.
I apologize to all the homosexual gangbangs that spread monkeypox. You're not the only degenerate spreading disease across the world.
Coming in right now. Happy Diwali, happy Goraba. What is this right here? Is this cow dung?
No, this is just the fire.
It smells very good.
Yeah.
Hello. What?
Is this cow shit? That is racist. Why would you assume everything is cow shit here? That is just a fire. Burning in a pile of cow shit.
Before our poop-throwing war could begin, there were several other traditions involving the use of cow poop leading up to it.
Right.
Very beautiful. Happy Diwali. Wow, wow, wow. And holy shit. Literally.
This is good. We should all put flowers and leis on our piles of shit.
And as the festivities began, the villagers were scrounging up any remaining cow poop they could spare in time for our legendary poop-throwing war.
Well, I mean, of course, waste not, want not.
Before you know It'll be a large pile. They'll get a tractor, put it in the tractor, and then the villagers are collecting piece by piece, poop by poop, more poop over there. Really poop everywhere. Every piece of poop counts. Don't forget it. That right there is freshly
scrape
shat.
that shit up.
This will be extremely valuable ammunition in the poop war, and I'm excited to see it fly. I've really waited about 12 months for this day. I bought the flights 10 months ago. We're just gonna have a good time.
What is a flight? All right, guys. I don't want to give away the the action part. So, you guys go to Tyler Oliveira's Facebook page or Oliveira's Facebook page. Tyler Oliveira on YouTube. Go watch. We're at about the 11-minute mark. Go watch the poop flinging thing. Sam Joe says that's actually India's space program. No, I didn't know that. MSO says this show is turned to shit. Wah, wah, wah. Diwali is supposed to be really colorful and nice, and this town ends it with dung. Well, you know, we got to be tolerant. Everyone celebrates differently. Sam Show says they walk in shit and then they cut their food with their feet. Then they worship their 8-legged mutant babies. Well, that's not all they do. They also smear shit inside their house because they think there's a lady god living in the shit that will protect their home. So, you know, there's more to it. Don't sell it short. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Thank you very much for being here. On your way out, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Knocked out tonight's goal. Another win for the toe. And thank you very much. We got some shorts coming up at 9 o'clock. We got another clip coming up at 9 o'clock. Make sure you check everything we've put out there today and throw it a thumbs up. And we will see you again tomorrow morning for another great episode of Steel Toe. Thanks, guys.